Well, see, still don't have that quite right. It's so hard to get it just right. Oh, nothing like using the camera to check your hair. Oh, like my wall. All the way up. There she be. Yeah. I have one wall. I have two wall. I have three wall. I've got one more wall to finish. The wall that has the window on it. It's going to take 2 rows of boards. Probably have to trim the top one. Yeah, but I just have that one wall. That's the longest wall because that'll go all the way to the front door. But it's coming. Now, the only thing I need to do is figure out, and I haven't figured this out yet, is what to do with the ceiling because I have to have a little drop because the electrician had to run wires. I don't know if there was any other way for him to do it. Probably, but it would have probably been more. It would have taken more wiring because he would have had to go the roundabout way. But it is what it is. So, seeing as this is the living room, the walls are not going to stay this dark. No, they are not. They will be painted a nice light color because we only have the one window. And I debated on whether or not to add another window. I've got windows and I went back and forth, and it's like we really don't have a whole lot of wall space in here. And I've got some nice pictures I would like to hang. And I'm just like, I probably really don't want to anyway, put another window, because that's the north side right there. And so I'm the whole went back and forth and decided, no, I'm not going to be bothering to put another window in. So anyway, I'm sitting in my living room. You are sitting on a bale of insulation, which has to go upstairs. Oh, hi, Stringfield Ridge Farm. How you doing? I was just admiring my walls. Finally, I feel like something's getting accomplished. So as you can see, I've got some gaps between the boards. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to caulk them. As a matter of fact, it's right behind me. I can't reach it. I've got the caulking. I have to put some painter's tape and start marking that up, putting that down so that I can caulk all the boards. I got one back there that's really quite wide. I didn't realize that there was such a bow in that particular board. But we are good. Just in from church and eating lunch now. Yeah, been there, done that. That's right. You're an hour behind me. We have a little bit of a storm coming through. It's just a little one. It's not going to be amount to much, but I was hearing a little bit of thunder. So excuse me, sorry about that. We had a little bit of rain, and of course the goats hightailed it. They were all out there sunning themselves, and then the rain moved in, and they hightailed it into the run-in. They really like hanging out in the run-in. Even though I have their goat barn open up, Oh, hi, Willow the Wonder Horse. Hi, how you doing? Um, so the they're going to have a new stall in the run-in, um, and that's where the Milky Station is going to be. Because I tell you, yesterday morning and this morning it rained both mornings, and Daisy does not like getting up on the milk stanchion when it's wet. So um, I put a feed bag on the floor of the stanchion this morning to see if that helped. And she was a little bit more. She was okay with getting up. She wasn't real keen on having her hind legs standing on the feed bag. I don't know why. So, but anyway, that's goats for you. Um, Chucky, I'll tell you, he's been a bit of a trip. Um, the night before, I had to run a bunch of birds. You should see. I meant to take a picture of it, but I didn't. I got my Tahoe, and I had an Amish gentleman ask me if I was going to the auction yesterday. Well, normally I would have. This was in Casey County. They have an auction there, one in the spring, one in the fall, and I've been before, and I enjoy it. But with everything else I got going on, and I really want to get this done, it's like I can't. I just didn't have the time to spend and lose a whole day at work. So so I said, well, I'll take your birds Friday afternoon because you can drop off your livestock Friday afternoon after 2 o'clock. So I agreed to take the birds. He had a lot of birds. And she was saying, no, just a small trailer load. Well, I thought they had the trailer. Well, I don't own a trailer yet. Still looking for one. I wonder if that's Chucky. That's a driveway alarm. Anyway, yeah. Just rounded up a bad baby goat boy in the rain. Oh, I am surprised you had to round him up. Normally they hightail it for shelter. Um, anyway, yeah. So I got home about 6 o'clock. Okay, and driving up our road, don't I see Chucky in our neighbor's pasture, along with 3 or 4 deer. Lovely. I stopped and I said, Chucky, you need to come home. It's bucket time. And so I came on home. Usually, if he sees the truck, he's falling behind. Well, he just stared me down and he didn't show up. He finally did show up. I took another run down that way later when it's just starting to get dark and there was no sign of him. It's like, great. So it was after dark when he got back. It's like, that's the latest he's ever been. He's usually back by dark. And so, great. So that was Friday night. Last night, he had been up here and I'd seen him and I figured, okay, he's not gone too far. Well, come feeding time, we need rain so bad. It's all going east of me. There's a whole big blob of rain, and it's starting just east of Manchester, and it's building as it's going east. That's where it's going. So that's where all your rain went. Chucky in trouble. Oh yeah, Chucky in trouble. So last night, yeah, he didn't show up, and I figured, I wonder if he's back in the neighbor's field again. So I drive down. Sure enough, there he is. I parked the truck right down the road. Thankfully, we don't get a whole lot of traffic. And I grab a I should have grabbed the lead rope and I didn't. But I did have a ratchet strap. So I I walk into the pasture. I see where there's one break in the fence line. I knew that, so I went in there. And I walked right up, focused on Chucky, ignoring the 4 deer that were in the pasture. Okay. In Northwest Pennsylvania, we are having rain all week. Oh, really? There is a hurricane coming. The end of the week. It's going to be hitting Florida Panhandle, I think, but it could, hurricanes wobble, and I don't know if we're going to get anything out of that system or not, depending on the track. If it goes more west, then Western Kentucky may get some. If it goes more east, then Kentucky may not get any at all. So, and it's like anywhere's in there. So we'll see how that develops. But so I go down, I grab hold of the ratchet strap, go in, and I just talking to him, Chucky, this is not where you belong. And the deer are staring me down. It's like, what is this woman? And they're looking at Chucky, and Chucky took a look at the deer. Then he looks at me. The deer are getting skittish. He's looking at the deer. He's looking at me. And then the deer take off as I am steadily walking towards him. Okay, we could use it, but I'm not wishing a hurricane on anyone. Yeah, I hear you. And it's got a good chance of being a high end Category 4 hurricane when it gets to the shore. That was what I heard. Of course, it's still early yet. Hurricanes can change at the last minute, so we'll see how it develops. Of course, Florida is used to it, but still, Category 5 is still bad news. No matter, there ain't no, planning for that. If a Category 5's coming your way, hightail it out. Don't even stick around. And this has a chance of being a high-end Category 4. It's not written in stone. It may not get that high, but it's got a chance of being that high. So, and that's going to be bad enough. So the deer hightail it out. Chucky looks at them like, should I be running out after them? I said, no, Chucky. Chucky, stay here. It's bucket time. So I grab hold of him, and he leads me to another section of the fence that is down. So great. Chucky, I hope you're not the one that busted the fence down. I can't imagine, because it's barbed wire. I didn't look to see where it connects at, but it's something that definitely needs to be looked into. So anyway, so that's two nights now that I know of that he was down in my neighbor's field. Now my neighbor's pretty good. I don't think he's going to be too terribly upset, because he's got a lot of ground and he's down to only one little pony. So he may not be terribly concerned about it. But I think that he may end up getting some steaks from me. So, because it's not right that Chucky's in his field. So anyway, we'll see what happens. And I'm like, am I crazy? But I am toying with the idea of, I've got these goats and I can milk these goats, especially since, I've got Daisy and Lily. Lily hopefully will be bred next year. And then I can milk her. It's like, do I want to get another bottle calf or two? And, my neighbor's got all that ground. I wonder if we can strike up a deal. So I don't know. It's just toying with the idea. It's going through my head. I don't know if anything is going to come of it, because I got to get infrastructure down. I still got to get fence up, because the electric fence. Oh, I tell you, yeah. I found where Honey got out a little bit ago. Got that fixed up. Figured out what was wrong with the electric charger. It was the extension cord. I don't like having it plugged into the extension cord, but right now that's all I can do, because it's just too far away from the outlet. Um, and I mean, I would like to have electricity run to the barn. I don't know when that's going to happen. So it's like, it's not a priority at this point. It's on the list, and it's a little bit higher up on the list than some other things, but anyway. So, but things are starting to come along. It feels good to have this section of the cabin almost finished. Because it's just like, it seems like everything that I've got going on around here, it's functional, but it's not finished. The barn's not finished. The fence isn't finished. The driveway's not finished. The pump house isn't finished. I could go on and on. Lots of things that just are not finished. They're functional, well, except for the well house. Not well house, I mean the pump house. That's not functional yet. See, I want electric to my greenhouse, but so many other jobs are more important. Yeah, exactly. BRB, horses are wanting their nummy buckets. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, Honey will take anything. Anything at all. I go out in the morning, she's nickering at me. She wants something. I go out in the afternoon, she nickers at me. She wants something. Anytime she sees me, she nickers at me. She wants something. Well, yeah. I do need to talk to my neighbor about a round bale. They pretty much finished what was there. So, there goes some more thunder. It's not going to be today. Jerry, what's going on out there? Sheba's barking. Gracie's barking. Chickens are going nuts. Yeah, Gracie's barking too. Oh, we've got a fish fry. What? Do you see anything?
She's reacting. She's reacting to Sheba barking.
Okay. Come on, Gracie. Come on, Gracie. Hello, Gracie. Okay, I know. There's Gracie. Say hello. Say hello. My little watchdog wannabe. Yeah, She's a vicious guard dog. You gotta watch out for her. She'll lick you to death. Anyway, yeah. So we have a fish fry to go to this afternoon. My church is having a fish fry. I think they were supposed to have it earlier in the year, but it got postponed for some reason. So, but they're having it today. So I'm going to thoroughly enjoy it. I'll tell you, my pastor does the frying of the fish, and he does a fantastic job. It is some of the best fish I have ever had. I tell you, it is so good. So I don't care if I have anything else, but I'll have some of that fish. And it's delicious. So there ain't no way we're going to miss that. So anyway, I'm hoping that we can actually get some projects finished. I was just watching video by April Wilkerson. I don't know if anybody else watches her or not. She's a woman that does woodworking, and she was building a laundry room countertop out of reclaimed 2x4s and 2x6s, I think. And it's like, so I was watching that with interest, because what's next on my agenda once this room is finished is to get ready to put in the shelf that the kitchen sink is going to sit on. And that's going to be made out of 2x8s, I believe is what it is I got. So I'll make it 16 inches deep, maybe a little bit less. I'm going to see how that works out. If it's going to be wide enough, I may have to add a 2x4 to it. We'll see. I'm trying to think if it was a 2x8s or 2x10s. It's been a while since I bought them. I bought them a while ago, thinking I was going to get into this a lot sooner. But once I get this built and installed, then we're looking at plumbing. And that's going to like, okay, I got to get my mind in gear for that, because I am not a plumber. I don't pretend to be one on YouTube. This is just definitely, excuse me. This is definitely not my strong suit. I was nervous about electricity. Well, I'm a little bit nervous about plumbing too, because I especially do not want it leaking inside my house. If it leaks outside, okay, it's annoying, but it's not that big a deal. No harm, no foul. I don't want any leaks in my house. I've dealt with leaks before, and I really, that can be trouble. So, yeah. So I am a little bit nervous. I got to make sure I do it right, because I have to put filters at certain points in the line. Okay, I've got a spin filter that's going to go from the water tanks to the pump. And I've got to figure out how to run a line from my single tank that's at the back of the cabin to match up with or attach to the plumbing with the stack tanks. And I've got to figure out how I'm going to get the spin filter, because I only bought the one spin filter. And that has to be between the tanks and the pump. Okay. So I've got to figure out how that's supposed to fit in. And then I have a filter that goes between the pump and the house. And I don't know that there's going to be another filter, because I don't know if there's room for another filter, because the sink is going to be sitting on a shelf. So, and you've got to have the space. So I'm not sure. I got to see what I've got to work with. I've got to build. Once the kitchen is ready for the plumbing, then my next focus is going to be on the pump house, because that has to be enclosed so that I can put heat in there if necessary, because it cannot be exposed to freezing temperatures, not once there's water in it. It was freezing last winter, but there was no water in it. So I'm hoping it's still okay. It should be. Yeah, so I've got the outlet there so that I can plug in a heat lamp or some other kind of heat source. I could get, the plan is to have it so that there's enough room so I could put just about any kind of heat source that I can think of. A candle in a tin can will keep things above freezing. Okay. So if power goes out and I have a couple of candles, I can put candles in there. Okay. Even that will be enough to keep it above freezing. A kerosene lamp, a Coleman propane lantern, on low, will keep things above freezing. There's all kinds of options. So even if we lose power, I can still have a heat in there to keep it above freezing. So, oh my. So that's the plan. Anyway, the pump house will be insulated. There's some insulation. It's the tanks, the stack tanks are not completely enclosed yet. Not sure if I'm going to enclose a single tank or if I'm just going to paint it. But the pump is definitely going to be in a small building shed type thing, and it's going to be insulated. I saw somewhere where there's like a spray foam kit you can get rather than using the great stuff, that comes in a can. I had this stuff right here. Okay. It's called Great Stuff. It looks backwards to me. But anyway, this is an extra can that the straw broke on. So I've got this is for windows and doors. So anyway, that's sitting there waiting for me to get a straw. Because I do have to do our windows both upstairs and here. And I think I still have a little bit to do on that, the double doors that I have in the kitchen area. So, but anyway, so that's the plan. So we go from living room to kitchen to pump house. 1, 2, 3, right on out. So, my pastor made a comment. This not pastor's wife this morning made a comment about me getting up to come to Sunday school. It's like, you know what? Maybe one of these days when I have running water, I'll be able to do it. You know, and I said, I'm hoping I'm working towards having it in by Christmas. And she says, "Yo, oh, you getting city water?" I said, "No, I've got the tanks, I got the pump. It's just a matter of getting the plumbing in the house." I said, "Once this living room's done, then I'm working on the kitchen." It's like, because once the living room's done, I can get my husband moved into here, and he'll be out of my way, and I can focus. I'll have room. Okay, so that's the plan. So anyway, so that's what's going on. I, of course, in between doing all this other stuff, I want to get that goat stall finished. That's not that complicated. We're not looking at insulation or anything like that. I just got to level the floor where the milking stanchion is going to be. I got to put in the wall for the milking room, and it's reclaimed lumber that I've got here. It's not that complicated. That I can probably have done maybe in a day and a half. It shouldn't take that long. I think the most complicated part is going to be digging the hole to put the post in for the corner of the milking room. So, and then everything else, I'll just, as I get around to it, adding a shelf for the pump, feed can or something, keeping feed in there for her. But we'll see. It's not, that's little things I can fit in between doing everything else. So, but things are coming together. It's not fancy. A professional would not leave anything looking like this. But hopefully it'll have like a semi-rustic kind of look to it. Yeah, that's what we'll call it. We'll call it semi-rustic. Yeah, that works, right? So anyway, the outlets work. The insulation's behind the wallboard. It's all good. And I have something to put paint onto. So I don't think wallpaper will ever work in this room, but paint, you can cover up a whole lot of sins with paint and caulking. So that's what I'm looking to do. But I mean, I don't know how much longer. I mean, I don't know when the next time is that I'll be in here. Hopefully next week we won't be in this room doing the live stream. Hopefully we'll be in a different part of the cabin, but we'll see. I might make it brief. Well, I'll do a video of it, but doing a live stream because my husband's going to hopefully be sitting in here. We're looking at his TV, which is going to be right here. I've got the bracket to put it on the wall, and hopefully he will be happy. If I could just figure out how to use a smart TV, that's the only thing. I have no clue. I've never used a smart TV before, so hopefully we can get it to work. So anyway, because we have a fish fry to go to, I'm going to cut this short. Okay. So hope you all have a good weekend, rest of the weekend. And I will talk at you later. And hopefully, Teresa, you will eventually get rain. I don't know. It's all going east. And trust me, the east of here, East Kentucky, does not need any more rain. For sure. So anyway, I will talk to y'all later. Have a good one, and I will see you later.